Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now listen, in this video we are going to see me splice up one of the lives, right? And we're going to break it up by topic, and there's some places where I want to dive a little deeper into the subject at hand. So if you are here rewatching this, shout out to you. But if this is your first time, hopefully this will give you some great insight. And if this is your second time, hopefully this also gives you some new things to chew on. Okay. And in case you're wondering, I'm in a rental car. Just in case you're wondering, because I know somebody out there is going to ask. So might as well answer the question here. All right. So let's dive into the video. I have questions that I pulled from some of the videos, and Gwen is going to help me answer it. And she needs to be in the frame. You got to be close to me. Okay? Stop and act like you know. We're at her house right now. She kidnapped me today, and so this is what comes with the territory. Why did you kidnap me?
So you would have something to do.
And this is what I want. I want you to be just as ignorant with them as you are to me.
That's easy. I'm actually not ignorant with you.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Because Gwen and I are snowboarders. All right. And I'm going to transition this because somebody asked us a question on ageism, right? So we're going to transition this. Gwen and I are snowboarders. We were skiers first, right?
Yes.
And we decided one day snowboarding looked fun. Let's learn to do it. I was probably, 38 maybe?
No, you're okay. I was 43.
She was 43 when she learned to snowboard.
Take 12 miles off. 12 miles. You were 31.
Really?
You're 12 years younger. So
I felt like 40. I was older than that. Get in the camera.
Bro, I'm in the camera.
This camera.
Oh, it's the same thing. Same camera.
So, yeah. So, and I say that because age has always been a state of mind. We were that old learning how to freaking snowboard. If you guys would see the bruises we came home with. You too.
I didn't have as bad.
But she picked it up before I did, and I was so frustrated. Remember, we would hire private instructors, and she was picking it up better than me, and I just wasn't getting enough attention. I had to storm off the mountain a few times. I had to fire my instructor, go get my own instructor, because it was rough. It was rough.
Dramatic.
But who are we now, Gwen? We some snowboarding somebody.
Yes.
We are some snow.
Much better.
We can snowboard practically anything now. Blacks, blues, all.
We get a little intimidated sometimes with those.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Renewed Harvest Homestead has a question, and then this also goes back to this. Before I read the question, let me say this. There was another comment somebody left on a video. I'm going to read this. They said this. In my early 40s, I was out of a job for 2 years. I got a job for 4 years and then I quit. No job for another 2 years. Now I'm 50 and there's no job out there for me. No one will hire me at my age. And if they do, the salary will be poor. So I'm stuck at the job I have. I can't do better. No need in fooling myself. That's one. And then Renewed Harvest Homestead says, what advice would you give for starting a new career and obtaining new certifications on top of my degrees? Ageism is real.
I mean, you're not going to convince people that it's not real.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I mean, maybe it may take a while. My daughter has children. And she stopped working after her first child, and she's in her 30s, and she can't find a job. So I don't know that it's ageism. Sometimes it could just be the level of experience that you have since you're starting something new. I don't know the answer to that, but that's why I'm doing the stuff that I'm doing, because at 61, I feel like I can't just rest on being a manual tester. I have to expand, and my expansion has to do with getting into the development side of things, understanding automated testing more from the beginning from implementation to actual doing and putting out results. I I think it depends on what it is you're learning.
Starting a new career in.
Yes.
Yeah, what are you starting a new career in? Because I say on top of your degrees, I feel if you already have a degree, I don't feel like it's necessary to go back to school.
As certifications might.
But certifications, yes.
But you have to pick areas that there's a need. And I know for, like, of course, we're going to AI. AI, I don't know all the aspects of that, but look into that to see what that is, where the need is for that. I mean, I'm not promoting Amazon, but they have so many different things that people can get into. At one point, it used to be cybersecurity. At one point, it was dealing with containers and being able to know ops related stuff, operational stuff.
Yeah.
So I think you have to figure out where the need is, and sometimes just looking and seeing where most of the jobs are being asked for. I said, okay, is this something that may be of interest to me?
Even let me go back to the ageism thing. I'm more of a spiritual person. I'm more I'm into manifesting. I'm into all of that. I do believe you have to change your story. You have to change your story. Ageism is as real as you make it.
I agree with you. I think we all, 100%. If you think about, just look, I always point to Congress. Look at Congress. There's tons of people that are older than all of us by 20 plus years that can sit in seats forever till they are delirious. And they're sitting in these seats. And it's just changing your mentality and knowing that. And we work with people who are in their 70s.
Old, yeah.
And they're still, but
respected.
They're doing what they love. They're good at what they do. They have, again, I think we've said this before, they have the work ethic.
Yeah.
A lot of them have a work ethic.
We can't. Do not take on the story this world wants you to believe is yours. It's not your story. It's not your story. My thing is, like she said, her daughter in her 30s is having a hard time finding a job. What's the excuse there? What's the excuse there? What is the excuse there? How do you feel about yourself? Are you the one who feels you're too old? How do you feel about yourself? My thing is, even with you said you're, as far as because you're, how old, 61?
Mm-hmm.
You're learning automated testing to keep yourself relevant but I don't feel like that's because you're 61. I think that's all of us. That's everybody in our field. We know that as testers, people are looking for automated testers more and more. So I don't think that has to do with it, age. It makes you more qualified than the next person if you do pick it up, because you already know, as I know, not a lot of people know a lot in automated testing. Everybody's looking for it, but hardly anybody can find it.
And we just happen to be one of those teams that had to do it from the ground up. And anybody that, we've never have a shortage of people wanting to come to the team. But you got a lot of people that aren't trying to leave the team either. And they are picking up things. And we're, it's a great place to be. And I am trying, not that I'm like struggling to stay on the team. I am doing what I need to do so that if I do end up going someplace else, that knowledge is going to transfer with me. Or it gives me that foot in the door to getting a job that is seeking automated testing.
All right, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I am waiting for the shop to open. They open at 7:30. It's 7:25 right now. So what we gonna do with this time? My face looks shiny. Ooh. Anyways, so what we're gonna do with this time is we're gonna talk, and this is on ageism, okay? Because I see ageism is a big topic, but again, I want to reinforce that things are only as real as you make it. And I know that doesn't feel true. I know that doesn't feel real, because let me see. I don't have nowhere to comfortably sit you guys, because we live in a world that fills our heads with a lot of isms. Sexism, racism, ageism, classism, colorism. We live in a world with a lot of isms. You have to choose what you believe, because if not, you also buy into and play a role in the isms. What do you believe about others? When you see a person who is older, do this exercise. When you go to a store, you see a person who is older working. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? What are your biases? What are your prejudices? No judgment. No judgment. When you get yourself an answer, I want you to shift perspectives. Build another story. Build another story. For example, let's take the classic Walmart greeter. The society tells us that people who are Walmart greeters and they're older, they're doing it because they have to have the money. They need the money. If not, they wouldn't be working, right? And isn't it so sad that at that age, they still have to work? Isn't it sad that at that age, that is the only job that they can get? But let's shift the perspective. Let's shift the perspective. Two things. One, that's the only job that they can get. What if that is a job that they are lucky enough to get? Because when they were younger, they didn't use that time developing skill sets. So what can you do differently? Regardless of your age, develop a skill set. Think about a movie. We love watching movies that have the what is it? The unlikely hero. What if you had a script starring you, an older person, however you define that, who did some uncommon things to get an uncommon ending? That uncommon thing could be the person who went back to school. Not that I believe in going back to school. I don't believe in taking on debt. If you can do it and it don't require debt, awesome, right? But what if you didn't go back to school? What if you was a little more bold than that, a little more audacious than that? What if you were self-taught? What if you had a Udemy subscription? What's another one? Even YouTube University. What if you had your own subscription and you put together your own course to make yourself the baddest in whatever area you want to make yourself the baddest in? So bad that they cannot deny your talent and your skills. What if that was the script that you were cast the star in? You're the star. What if this person who's working at Walmart, older person, discovered that, you know what? I'm retired. I can do whatever I want with my time, but I'm bored. There's so much time in a day, 24 hours in a day. Multiply that by 7 days a week. I have so much time on my hand and I am bored. What if that's the story? And what if the best way to be social and to get a paycheck on top of that is to go out and be hired to greet the public, to possibly put a smile on somebody's face, to help somebody out? Shift the perspective. Whatever your ism is, when you see somebody who fits that ism out in the wild, out in public, analyze how you feel about it. What are your prejudices, your biases about it? And then shift the perspective. Do the work to change that. Because ultimately, what we feel about others, a piece of that, it could be small, it could be big, it's saying what we feel about ourselves or what we feel about the community that surrounds us. We can do the work to heal that. I went to work yesterday, my first day of work, and I looked around, and guess what, babies? The working population was older, was older than they were younger. I would say, as Gwen said about her daughter, I feel it's actually harder to break into the industry as a younger person because people automatically assume you don't have experience. The gift of time gives us the gift of this person lived a life. If you go on an interview after you taught yourself this and this and that in Udemy, and you see how those things apply to you in your real life experience, and you go and you speak from that point of view on an interview, you are more likely to be believed because you have time, you have wisdom, you have age on your side. Shift the perspective. Shift the perspective. Like I said, I looked around and I even counted amongst the team that I'm on. Who are the people who I would say were younger people? Out of 25 people, and that's just the people that I seen on the new team in the meeting I was in. Out of 25 people, 3 in a possible were younger than me. Perhaps. Maybe. Because one person was questionable. I don't know. But I would say a majority of the people were older than me. And a lot of the people were around my age. I'm about 50. I'm going to be 49 this year. Shift the perspective on ageism. Shift the perspective on all the isms. It's 7:33 right now. Let me go in here and do what I came here to do, which was be bold, be audacious, do something a little different. I could make a phone call, but I was like, you know what? Nope, I'm going to swing by and I'm going to talk to them in person because that's what I do. And I've always gotten great results. I've always gotten positive results. Okay. All right. Sometimes you're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to go above and beyond what others are doing, have done to get the results that you want. It's something I've always done my whole life. I've done the work. I've done the work. I've done the things others didn't want to do, didn't want to roll out of bed to do. I will get up earlier. I will stay up later. Not to say that I always have to. I don't. That's why I don't anymore. That's why I vacation so much. Because I've earned this. I built this. Okay. So that's what I want to say about that.